What a train wreck day. How's everybody doing? Did anyone go actually do any Black Friday shopping? So, I didn't actually do any Black Friday shopping. The thing was, though, that I had to get up this morning at 6 a.m. because I had a delivery show up. And it was ridiculous because I was like, wait a second, seriously? Like, so I figured, they're never going to get here on time. No one gets here early, right? No, of course they did. They actually got on time. I was the first delivery this morning. And the delivery came at, I don't know, like 6:07 or 7:07. And yeah, I was really not ready for, there we go. All right, start all over again. I didn't even have the right camera on. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to Randsanity, episode 181, the 28th of November, day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Did anybody actually Black Friday it? I've done the Black Friday thing before. I'll tell you what, it is definitely not great to do. I did it when I bought a bunch of TVs for the bar music venue. I bought 8 TVs, so I tried the Black Friday thing. It worked great. But I had to get up early this morning because I had a delivery of appliances, dishwasher, microwave, refrigerator, and stove. So Lowe's, I bought all the Black Friday deals online. So they're like, hey, we're going to deliver on Black Friday. I'm like, okay, really? And they said your window's from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'm like, all right, great. That's fine. I don't have to worry about that stuff. Get there later and it's no big deal. Yeah, then they send me a text. It's like, hey, you're first on delivery list, 7 a.m. I'm like, what? So yeah, 7:07 this morning, they showed up. I was like, wow. So yeah, I'm getting stuff delivered at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I had to stumble out of bed and drag my ass out to this delivery location because it wasn't at my house, with a cup of coffee and just wasn't feeling it. So it kind of threw the whole day off because I had to get up way too early. Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go with the 7 a.m. delivery just threw me. And then I just kept right on going and I just continued working all day. And then I got, I had to deal with, I got a credit card declined because I spent like $3,000 at Lowe's, and then they were thinking it was fraud, and no one's answering the phone. I'm like, hello. I was like, it's not fraud. I need this purchase because it was another Black Friday deal with another $3,000 expense for all this stuff. And it's like, it's not fraud. Well, you just spent, it's like, no, I'm going to spend $6,000 in one day. Yes, because it's Black Friday deals. But yeah, it was ridiculous. I was like, wow. So I hope nobody had credit card problems today. And I hope everyone had a good Black Friday and didn't have to deal with the shenanigans, the nightmarish hell, and the nonsense I dealt with the credit card companies and the vendors. Because it did not make the day great. I was grateful yesterday because I'm like, yay, Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, everybody. Praise to be. But today I was like, go to hell. Everybody should just fall off cliffs, DYFJ, get a fucking job. Like, come on, man. I just need to buy stuff and you keep declining my card. Yes, I'm going to spend $6,000 in one day. That's okay, right? I mean, you want us to buy stuff. It's consumerism at its finest. But no, you kept on declining it. I literally just got the credit card sent over like 5 minutes ago. Finally got it cleared up and got it sent off because I was like, okay, this is not great. But truth be told, I was fine with that fact that, as long as it's before midnight, because midnight, the Black Friday deal was done. And I was like, no, they don't have a Cyber Monday. I was like, I need that money, pay it, pay them, get this thing. So anyway, how's everyone doing? Okay. Good, great. Yes. So my preparation tonight is, what's the word I want to use? Weak. It's really weak. Because I didn't get all the stuff done that I wanted to get done. So I didn't get prepared as I like to get prepared. So on my births and deaths tonight, there'll be no deaths. Well, there'll be a death or two along the way, but there'll be no death list at the end of the night. So if someone important died, I'll find it tomorrow and I'll have to go back and we'll commiserate over their death later. As far as TV, movies, stuff like that, I skipped that entirely. I was like, nope, I didn't do any research for any movies, any TV. So anything that came out today, I could talk about tomorrow and all that. So anybody that is watching, and my question is this: tomorrow, Ohio State University takes on Michigan. Any opinions? I mean, I know there's opinions, but any opinions? Is Ohio State going to do it? They're going to win this year? They're going to beat Michigan? They're going to go undefeated season going into the Big Ten championship? Or is Michigan going to be the spoiler once again? That's my question to everybody. If you have anything that's, do you think Michigan's going to actually beat Ohio State, or do you think Ohio State's going to actually beat Michigan? That's the question. It's a question in hand. Nobody knows? All right. Let's see what's going on here. Hi. Yo, Deef! What's up, Deef? Hi. I know you, Deef. That's so fun. Nice to see you, Deef. Anyway, all right. Well, let's talk about stuff that happened in music history today, and we'll see what the thing is going on with it, all right? We're going to go way back, and I'm going to do this chronologically tonight. Normally, I don't do chronological. Chronological takes too much time, but I'm going to do chronological tonight just because the way I started it, I kind of like put stuff together. So I know normally it's all over the place, but tonight it's going to be chronological. So there you go. All right. So if you don't like it, well, tough. That's where it's at. Oh, and why KIL TV? Well, Ned's Atomic Dustbin was a band, and they had a song called Kill Your Television. And that license plate that you see behind you right there, this one, I believe, see, right there, KIL TV. That was my license plate on my car. Let me see if I can find a better. There it is. Okay, so you can see a little better there. See, right there, KIL TV. Up. KIL TV. That was my car's license plate forever. And it was quite the hassle to get, because every time I would go to DMV, the motor vehicle department, would be like, what's this mean? And I'd have to explain to them that I work for radio, and that every radio station east of the Mississippi is a W. WABC, WNBC, WCD, whatever. And everything west of the Mississippi is K. KABC, KNBC, KWCD, because it's just the way it was segmented. So I said, well, I used to work for a radio station out west, and it was KLTV. That usually worked, and I got away with it. But yes, they would question me voraciously. So I'm registering cars because my birthday's coming up in a week. So I had to do my car registration, and I had to deal with that again because I was like, So they're giving me hassles about my license plate, because everybody wants to hassle you when it comes to your license plate, just so you know. Okay? All right. So 1954, Winfred Atwell was at #1 on the UK singles chart with Let's Have Another Party. Atwell was the very first black artist to reach #1 in the UK and the first black artist ever to sell 1 million records. I did not listen to that song tonight, but I like the idea of Let's Have Another Party, so we're going to have to figure that one out. I'll try and listen to that one later and see what it is. In 1960, the King, Elvis Presley, started a 6-week run at the top of the charts, #1 on the US singles charts with Are You Lonesome Tonight? Are you lonesome tonight? This was Elvis's third US #1 of 1960. He had 3 #1s in that year. The single included a spoken passage loosely based on Shakespeare. Now, I've listened to that, and I didn't realize it was Shakespeare. Did you know it was Shakespeare? Now you do. In 1962, the Beatles performed 2 evening shows. The first at the Cavern Club, which is where they were found and what they always hung out at. And that one's in Liverpool. And the second was at the 527 Club, also in Liverpool. The 527 Club was a dance for the staff of the Lewis department store in Liverpool, and it was held at the top floor of the store. So imagine being back in the 60s, and we've got a guest band for you. It's the Beatles. And a couple of years later, they blow up and become the biggest band in the world. We did that. We had lots of bands that would come to the big room, and they would blow up later on. Coldplay played in the big room. What can I say? That happens. Don't forget, right? We're supposed to make sure we like and put on notifications. Like and notifications. That's how that works. You have to put those on. Now, this one I found to be I was like, really? 1964, the Shangri-Las, the band called the Shangri-Las, went to #1 on the U.S. singles chart with the Teen Death Song, Leader of the Pack. Teen Death Song. I was like, really? That's what they call that? Leader of the Pack. When released in the UK, the song was refused airplay by the BBC, probably due to its death theme, where it went on the chart 3 times. Number 11 in 65, number 3 in 72, by the time then the BBC ban had been lifted, and once again at number 7 in 1976. So, Teen Death Song. I did not know that it was a teen death song. I will have to try and listen to that again. Who knows? More Beatles. In 1967, the Beatles recorded their last fan club record as a group. Christmas Time is Here Again. The Beatles' Christmas records were spoken and musical messages from the group that were posted on a flexi disc at Christmas time to members of the official fan clubs in the United Kingdom and the United States. Had I known, I was not aware of said Beatles things. In 1970, Bob Dylan, his 11th studio album, New Morning, was on the UK charts, and it was his 6th UK #1. The album featured If Not For You, which was recorded by both George Harrison on his 1970 album, All Things Must Pass, and became the title track of Olivia Newton-John's 1971 debut album. We all remember Olivia Newton-John. Right now there's a commercial for John Travolta doing his Christmas Santa imitation for Capital One cards, and he jumps back to Greece when the scene was in the shop with the car, and now it's the sleigh. So nothing is sacred. Nothing. In 1970 as well, Dave Edmunds was #1 on the UK singles chart with his version of the 1955 Smiley Lewis hit, I Hear You Knocking. It was also the first release on the new MAM record label. I did not know the MAM record label. I was not aware of that. Let's see. Anything exciting going on over here? I don't see anything exciting happening. In 1974, John Lennon made one of his final concert appearances when he had joined Elton John on stage at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Lennon performed 3 songs, Where It Gets You Through the Night, I Saw Her Standing There, and Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Now that would have been good to see with Elton John. I could see Elton John playing the piano and Lennon singing. Just saying. In 1976, the Sex Pistols appeared on BBC TV's Nationwide and the ITV's London Weekend Show in the UK. They still were banning the music, though. I mean, they were the punkest punk band ever, as the sort of initiators of punk. I'm not going to read that one because that one's terrible. In 1987, REM had their first entry into the top 10 on the U.S. singles chart with The One I Love. This one goes out to The One I Love. That's a great REM song. I don't listen to REM enough, and you probably don't either. You have to go back and listen to some of their older stuff because that's when it was really good. Just saying. In 1987 as well, David Bowie played the second of 4 sold-out nights during his Glass Spider tour in Australia and New Zealand at the Kooyong Stadium in Melbourne. This was the first time that Bowie had been to New Zealand. I mean, who goes to New Zealand? Do people even know where New Zealand is? It doesn't even show up on maps sometimes. So how do people even know? I was looking for New Zealand on a map the other day, and I realized that it's not on some maps. So go look for New Zealand. It's not on everybody's map. Just telling you. In 1987, taken from the film Dirty Dancing, the Jennifer Warnes duet with Bill Medley, I've Had the Time of My Life, went to #1 on the US singles chart. In the UK, the song had 2 chart outings. In November of 1987, after the film's initial release, the song peaked at #6, and in January of 1991, after the film was shown on a mainstream television network, the song reached #8. So, it's just sort of that comeback because of it. Now, this is perfect because I could see Kurt Cobain basically telling them. In 1991, Nirvana recorded a performance for the BBC television music show Top of the Pops in London. When asked to lip sync Smells Like Teen Spirit in a pre-recorded tape, Kurt Cobain protested by singing an octave lower. He later confirmed he was imitating Morrissey for the Smiths and attempted to eat his microphone at one point. He also changed some of the lyrics, exchanging the opening line, "Load up on guns, bring your friends," to "Load up on drugs, kill your friends." I want to find that recording. I looked for it. I could not find it. I totally want to see Cobain singing in a lower octave. It smells like Teen Spirit. And I definitely want to hear him do the opening line, "Load up on drugs, kill your friends." I mean, I love that. I love that fact that, we want you to lip sync. Sure, I'll lip sync. Here's what you're going to get. Why not, right? In 1992, Whitney Houston started a record-breaking 14-week run at #1 on the U.S. singles chart with "I Will Always Love You," taken from the movie, what? The Bodyguard. The song was written by Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton wrote that song. Now, there was a bunch of songs that Willie Nelson wrote for Dolly Parton, so I think that's kind of fun. Now, see, I said there was going to be no deaths. I'm not going to do a death list, but there are deaths, okay? In 1993, Jerry Edmonton of Steppenwolf, he was the drummer. He was killed in a car crash not far from his Santa Barbara, California home. Remember, they always say 3 miles away from your house is the most dangerous place because that's where you drive most. Anyway, he was 47 when he died. Steppenwolf had the 1969 U.S. #2 hit, "Born to be Wild." You've heard that song. I know you have. Get your motor running. Born to be wild. More David Bowie. In 2000, David Bowie was crowned the musician's musician of all musicians. David Bowie beat the Beatles and the alternative rockers Radiohead in a survey by the NME that asked hundreds of top rock and pop stars to name their biggest musical influence. Think about that. You beat the Beatles on being musical influence. You got to give Bowie props for that one. That's not too shabby. Also in 2000, Madonna played her first British show for more than 7 years at London's Brixton Academy. Tickets changed hands for more than $1,500. QXL.com, the internet auctioneers, sold one pair for $2,900. Now that sounds like today pricing for tickets, not 2000 pricing. I mean, that's what people are paying for tickets now. In 2002, Tony McCarroll, the original drummer from Oasis, failed in a bid to sue the group's lawyers after he was fired because he took too long to file his claim. Judge Justice Gray at the High Court in London told McCarroll his case could not proceed because he had brought his claim outside of the 6-year time limit. I mean, if you're going to sue somebody, do it. Don't sit around and go, think about it. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. I mean, if you got to do it, you got to do it. In 2004, the band Metallica played the last show of their 137-date Madly in Anger with the World tour at the HP Pavilion in San Jose, California. This became the 4th highest grossing tour of 2004. They reaped, ready for this one, $60,500,000 in ticket sales alone. That does not include merch or anything else, just ticket sales. $60 million from one tour. It's not bad. And for 137 days, so like not even half a year yet. Little bit under half a year. I mean, you got to think that's a good payday right there, friends. Oh, the shenanigans. 2006, Pamela Anderson filed for divorce from rapper Kid Rock after just 4 months of marriage. Now, see, that was so fast. I didn't even know Kid Rock married Pamela Anderson. I mean, you know, it sounds like that was just a mess to begin with. In a statement on her website, at the time, 39-year-old Anderson confirmed she had split from Rock. I mean, you know, you tell me. Pamela Anderson, Kid Rock. Pamela Anderson, Kid Rock. I don't know. I got nothing for you. I just don't think that was a match made in heaven, especially if it lasted 4 months. Oh. Now, this is kind of sad. In 2013, it was reported that George Harrison's sister was living in a prefabricated home and struggling for money. Since her allowance from the Beatles star's estate was cut off about a year after he died, 82-year-old Louise Harrison admitted that she had no access to her brother's multi-million-dollar fortune and was cash poor. Living in rural Missouri, she never challenged her brother's estate. And she even said, "I don't care about the money. It's been over 10 years and I haven't made any ripples." That's kind of crazy if you think about it. The sister was only getting money while he was alive, so she wasn't in any kind of a trust or anything. So talk to your financial advisor. If you're George Harrison and you have a sister, you think you would want to take care of her for life, unless they were estranged, and I don't think they were. But literally a prefabricated home in Missouri. That doesn't sound very good for, you know, a Beatles like living relative. I find that to be just a little, I guess a little sad, right? Isn't that a little sad? Just saying. Now, this one I just found to be interesting because in 2006, New Zealand-born Ray Columbus, I was like, wait, Columbus? What? Singer and songwriter, television host, music manager, and entertainer, died at 74. He was the lead singer of Ray Columbus and the Invaders. I was like, all right. Apparently in the 60s, he toured with the Rolling Stones and Roy Orbison. So he was something, but I have no idea who Ray Columbus was. I just liked the name. I thought it was interesting. All right. And then in 2023, David Bowie's handwritten lyrics fetched $101,000 after they were sold at the Omega auction in Uxbridge, West London. The lyric sheet contained the late singer's corrections, drafts, and notes when creating his tracks Rock and Roll Suicide and Suffragette City. Both tracks in the sale featured on Bowie's 1972 classic album Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. Now, see, I don't know if I would pay $100,000 for it, but that I would keep. Remember, I'm not a big memorabilia guy, but that's kind of cool. I mean, just saying. You got to think about that. I mean, right? Why not? It does sound like that's something that you would want to have. It's not a bad thing, you know. As far as Bowie stuff goes, I would go for lyrics, you know, handwritten stuff. Just saying. All right, so let's see. Let's find anybody that's of any note that was born on this fine day. I know that we were talking about the Trinidadian. That's how you actually say it. Trinidadian British singer Clem Curtis, the original lead vocalist of the 60s soul group The Foundations, which in 1967 scored a #1 single for Baby Now That I Found You and the #3 single for Build Me Up Buttercup. Now, you know what movie that was in that I always love watching? Something About Mary. Yep, Something About Mary when they sing that. Build me up, buttercup, don't you? Yep. So that's who sung it. Trinidadian Clem Curtis. It was the first multiracial group to have a #1 hit in the UK in the 60s. Curtis died at the age of 76, diagnosed with lung cancer. Oh. What can I tell you? Randy Newman, born on this day. American singer and songwriter, arranger, pianist, composer, conductor, orchestrator, actor, live performer. Randy Newman with his Short People from 1997. I Love L.A. in 1983. You've Got a Friend in Me, 1995. Let's see. He wrote Mama Told Me Not to Come. I Think It's Going to Rain. And You Can Leave Your Hat On. Let's see. He wrote the soundtrack for Toy Story, A Bug's Life, both Monsters, Inc., and the first and third Cars films. He was basically, at one point, hailed the greatest songwriter alive by Paul McCartney. So happy birthday to Randy Newman today. He's got a great first name. I mean, you know, it's Randy. So, also born on this day, Canadian musician, actor, and comedian, Paul Schaefer. I didn't know he was a comedian. Paul Schaefer, remember? He was David Letterman's musical director, band leader, and sidekick on Late Night with David Letterman. Schaefer has also recorded with a wide range of artists, including Ronnie Wood, Diana Ross, Donald Fagen, B.B. King, Yoko Ono, Jeff Healey, and even Cher. This I found to be funny. In 1982, he co-wrote It's Raining Men with Paul Jabra, and it was #2 hit in the UK for the Weather Girls in 1984. It's raining men, hallelujah. He co-wrote that song. I mean, someone has to co-write these songs, but I just find it funny when I see some of these things like, oh, I didn't realize that you wrote that song. Just saying. Also, let's see. Today, Richard Grossman was born. Australian bassist who played bass guitar for the Divinals and the Hoodoo Gurus. I mean, what else? Oh, he was also a member of the Australian bands Matt Finish, Ghostwriters, Persian Rugs, and Men at Work. So, Richard Grossman, happy birthday to you. A couple good bands there, the Divinals and the Hoodoo Gurus. Man, you gotta love that one. Matt Cameron, birthday today. He's the drummer with Soundgarden. He joined Pearl Jam in 1998. Oh, man. What am I doing? See? I'm not paying attention and the camera goes dead. Got to fix that. That's what happens sometimes when I don't pay attention. Camera goes dead. What can I tell you? That's how that works. Matt Cameron, the drummer with Soundgarden, born today. He joined Pearl Jam in 1998 at the age of 13. He and some friends played in a cover band called Kiss. However, after a letter from the management of the rather better-known band Kiss threatened the boys with legal action, they called it a day. Yeah, I think that would happen. I mean, if you want to know who the most litigious of bands or things is, it's Godzilla. Just so you know, it's a Godzilla. Don't ever do anything with Godzilla. I'm probably going to get a letter for even mentioning Godzilla. But yes, if you try and capitalize on anything Godzilla, believe me, their company is just brutal. They will hunt you down. They'll give you cease and desist letters. They don't follow up with lawyers and everything else and threaten everything they can. So just be aware. Don't do anything with Godzilla. Don't call your band Godzilla. Don't do anything with Godzilla. Let's see. Also, birthday, Matt Cheslin from Ned's Atomic Dustbin, who had the song Single Happy. Also, they took the name for the episode of a radio comedy program, The Goon Show. I was not aware of that. Ned's Atomic Dustbin. What can I tell you? Let's see. Rostam Batmanjel. He's the American songwriter and composer from Vampire Weekend. Let's see. He had Contra, #1 album in 2010. #1 album in 2013 with Modern Vampires of the City. He left the band in 2016 to pursue solo careers. But Vampire Weekend, great band. And those are 2 really good albums. So, just saying. Let's see. Anybody else? We're going to say, let's see. Trey Songz, rapper Trey Songz, his birthday, his 3rd album, Ready, in 2009, peaked at #3 in the Billboard 200, spawned the Billboard Hot 100 Top 10 single, Say Ah, featuring Fabulos, and was nominated for the Best Contemporary R&B Album at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards. So there you go. That happened. Now, I hear water dripping in the background. I'm wondering what's leaking over here. Can you guys, do you hear that? Do you hear that water sound? I can only imagine that the radiators are leaking. So they're all dumping the water from the house because it was really cold today. It was in the 20s. So the heater's been on all day. So the house is filled with steam. So all the radiators are leaking back down here into the basement, which is the studio. See, that's what this is. This is this. Oh, wait. Did anybody tell me? They didn't have a light on the Death Star tonight. Let's see. What are we going to do? There we go. All right. The Death Star wasn't lit up. Now it's better. See? Now you can see it over there. And there's the yellow submarine. What can I tell you? All right. Hi, Kens. Anyway, so that was the day. That was day in music and why I have Kill TV. All right, so my original question was, any predictions on Ohio State? A little bit. It sucked. Polaris was a mess. Tap the camera. Different camera. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know. I got it figured out. Thanks, Jill. I know. Not paying attention. I need to move my one camera so I can see a little bit better. What can I tell you? It's tough trying to read everything at once. There's like all these different things happening all over the place. So I need to I'm going to move the monitor over to here so I can see it better. It's difficult to see when it's not in front of my face. That's what creates a problem here. When this is not right where there, so I need to move monitors and do that stuff. What can I tell you? It's not easy. It's not easy. It's difficult. That's all I can tell you. All right. Anyway, that is what is happening. on this Black Friday. I will get up tomorrow morning and I will prepare myself for a Ohio State Michigan blood battle, because I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I don't know what to predict here. Going up to the big house. I've been there a couple times. I've seen the game. I have a most famous story of being there, scalping tickets for $5 in the pouring rain many, many years ago, and watching Desmond Howard do the Heisman pose right in front of my face. So if you actually watch that, you can actually see me on TV and sitting there in the pouring rain in a raincoat that a Michigan fan bestowed upon me and my friend Mark, because he felt sorry for these two Ohio State fans in the pouring rain in their $5 seats in the end zone. Being that we're the only Ohio State fans that were right in that little spot right in the end zone, the commentator at the time, Jack Arute, actually handed me his cell phone. I called my dad in New Jersey and said, "Dad, look, I'm on TV." And he was like, "What the hell? Why are you on TV?" Not in trouble this time, Dad. It's just, this isn't a jail thing. This is just a here I am thing. Anyway, all right. So on that note, I will look for you all tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a W in the column for Ohio State and an undefeated season. And we will do this all again, but completely different. I'm going to mess with myself here. Not sure what I did. Even though I wear black, I still make messes. And I think I've ruined this shirt because whatever it is doesn't feel like it's going to ever come out. And I just got this out of the laundry. I'll have to get new shirts. You can get new shirts too. You can get Randsanity. Yes, you can. There's a store, Randsanity. Randis, Randsanities.com. There's all sorts of crazy t-shirts up there. I just opened the shop and it's Black Friday. So there you go. You can even try going there and buying things. Buy t-shirts. That helps support me, being that, I'm living in the basement at this point. All right. Fade to black. And I will look forward to seeing everybody again tomorrow. Like I said, we'll do this all again, but different in a different way. Peace.